Alright, so tonight's video was going to be about my opinions on the Season 1 content coming on December 3rd, the new maps, the new weapons, but really, you guys have probably already seen that stuff, and all I could say is that I'm excited about it. I'm excited about all of it. The one thing I will say is that people being pessimistic saying that this is stuff that was cut from the game to be released later as post-launch content, I get that that might be frustrating, but when this comes out, the game will not have even been 2 months old, and all of it's free for all platforms on the same day. Infinity Ward and Activision could say, yes, this was supposed to launch with the game, but we decided to release it as the Season 1 content. I would not mind a bit, and the reason is, they aren't asking for any of my money when it comes to this stuff. So, it's, in my opinion, just a net benefit for me by owning the game, so I'm happy with that. What this video is actually going to be about is the fact that Infinity Ward responded to people's criticism of the current minimap, basically saying that they have no plans on fixing it. They said that this version of the minimap better fits this game. Okay, they're the developers, they're making those decisions, fair enough. Whatever, I can even look past that. I can look past the fact that maybe you guys didn't look past it, I said fix earlier, that I want them to fix the minimap, not just change it. So I can look past my bias against the current minimap system. What I can't stand is their BS reasoning that they gave for this decision. Apparently the reason they want the minimap to not show enemy gunfire all the time is because they want the UAV to be more of a reward. The YouTuber that was kind of asking the questions to the developers asked, well, why is Ghost such a powerful perk? And Joe Saycott did say that he was going to look into that, but the minimap, they want to stay the way it is. So they want the minimap to stay, but they might do some tweaking to the Ghost perk. And okay, fair enough, but let's look at that reasoning again. This is the only thing I'm focusing on in this video. I already have my disagreements with the whole thing, but you guys already know those disagreements. And whether or not you share them, their reasoning is stupid. The UAV needs to be more rewarding? I'm sorry, that completely loses me. I have never played a Call of Duty game where a UAV wasn't rewarding and wasn't on like everybody's kill streak setup. I've never, in my entire life, played an entire match of Call of Duty without at least seeing 5 to 10 UAVs. The minimap did not need a nerf so that the UAV would be more of a reward. If you wanted the UAV to be more of a reward, you could have just buffed the UAV. Had it make faster sweeps, have it last longer, make it more durable, and I don't know, just other things to make the UAV itself more powerful. Fucking up the minimap just makes the rest of the game worse. Nobody ever needed a reason to get spy planes and UAVs and SATCOMs. They never needed a reason. Nobody was wondering why the UAV wasn't more of a reward. And if you were really interested in making the UAV more of a reward, why do you have a easier to get kill streak that's a personal UAV for whoever calls it in? Wouldn't that undermine the idea of the UAV being a reward? There's a cheaper kill streak that gives you roughly the same benefit that you can get way more times a game, especially if you're using hardline. And if you wanted the UAV to be a reward, then why is the Ghost perk so powerful? That's a really, really good question. During the interview, Joe Saycott also said that they had put too many perks in Tier 1 and they wanted to balance that out. And I really hope they're not thinking about putting Ghost in Tier 1 or EOD in Tier 2, because that would really bother me, because then I can't hide from UAVs and just weather the nade spam, but that's a whole other video. If that comes to pass, you guys will see a rant from me like no other. Here's the solution. If you want UAVs to be rewarding, look no further than literally any Call of Duty with a UAV. The minimap is not a crutch. It's your best friend and it's your worst enemy. It gets you found unless you are actively building your loadouts to hide from said minimap. Now, I like that he entertained the idea of changing the Ghost perk, because when I think of the UAV in something like Black Ops 2, it was nice because if somebody wanted to camp and play conservatively with the Ghost perk, that was fine, but when a UAV came up, that person had to either go shoot down the UAV or start moving in order to keep from being pinpointed. And I hope they make it so as long as you're moving, you're off that minimap with Ghost, but as soon as you hold still for like, let's say, a second and a half, you are going to probably be on the next radar sweep. Infinity Ward's design choices with the game are their own, and I honestly don't think the game is broken or unplayable because of the current minimap. I just think it would be a lot better with the traditional one, and that's why I would refer to it as being a fix. I think the more situational awareness people have in 6v6 and 10v10 modes, the better the game will play, especially since there's no point streaks or score streaks in this game unless you use the point man perk, and that means that most people are going to be camping for kills until they get their UAV, and also until they get their dead silence, which is also something that needs to charge. So a lot of people are going to be hiding until they have a UAV up, hiding until their dead silence is active, and this creates kind of a bullshit meta. Especially with mid-map customization, I don't know how anybody at this point could argue that the minimap would be a crutch. If you are tired of getting seen, throw on a suppressor. There's several types of suppressors in this game. There's suppressors that lower your aim down sight speed, but completely keep you off the minimap and compass. They have a suppressor that increases your damage range and bullet velocity, but slows down your gun even more. But then they have one that doesn't slow down your gun at all, but just reduces the damage range. You have options, and you don't have to completely change your playstyle to suppress your weapon. There's a little something for everybody there, and it does not make sense to me that anybody would defend a lack of minimap. Right now, the game already caters very heavy to conservative playstyles. More situational awareness can help combat that. I think a nerf to the ghost perk plus a change to the minimap is in order, and I'm going to call complete and total bullshit on the idea that your goal was to make the UAV a more rewarding kill streak. One of the most used and called in kill streaks, one of the most useful kill streaks in all of Call of Duty, did not need to be more rewarding by making the rest of the game when the UAV isn't active more difficult for aggressive players and easier for campers. A lot of people think that I am blindly defending Infinity Ward and Modern Warfare, but when I see decisions like this, and I see them publicly saying things like this, I cringe, because I want to stand up for them. I love their style of Call of Duty, and I love playing Modern Warfare. I want it to get better, and in my opinion, as a player of this game, and as a player of every Call of Duty game that came before it, they need to budge a little bit on what their vision for Modern Warfare is. Because right now, Infinity Ward, people are abusing your current vision for the game. Everybody that has watched my channel and paid attention for a while knows that I'm not pro-camper, I'm pro-variety. That includes campers and rushers, and right now, one is being catered to, and one isn't. I love the way this game feels when I have my dead silence charged, and I pull off an awesome flank, and I keep killing people, and it keeps regenerating my dead silence. That feels amazing, and I wish those moments were a little less lightning in a bottle, and a little bit more of just a valid playstyle. So to recap, their design is their design, but I absolutely disagree with their reasoning, and I am happy that they're looking into changing the ghost perk, but I'm nervous when it comes to talking about the tier 1 perks. I don't actually think the perk balance is that bad in the game, but that's a whole other video. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.
But I'm not. Why question it? Ow. Ow.
Oh god. I had a really good match, despite everything.
I had a couple of good kills with the revolver.
Yep, here's the play. Yes,
First
I'm
blood
so
with
glad. Yeah, and then this happens. Get fucked.
Ooh.
And get fucked. That's what felt so good. That's how that's.